everybody. Happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. It was beautiful outside. I hope you spent some time outside. Today is the first day of our virtual Spirit Week, and it's Pajama Day. And as you guys know, you don't have to ask me twice to wear pajamas. So I am here this morning in my pajamas doing your lesson. I hope you guys are wearing your pajamas too today. So today what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about and just start talking about angles. Now, what is an angle? Now, an angle is a measurement of distance between two rays. So these are two rays. They share an endpoint. As if you remember, a ray is lines that share an endpoint, and then it has a line going out. And these are two separate rays going out from the same endpoint. The angle is going to be what is the distance, this distance between those two rays. And these rays can be at all different angles, but what we're measuring still always is the distance between the two of them. Now, to get started, I want you to explain to you measurements that have to do with degrees. So I want you to think about a circle, and we're going to first start talking about how many degrees are in a circle. Now, in a circle are 360 degrees. Think of them almost like, I think of them kind of like minutes. So on a clock, here would be our starting ray. Now, if the distance, if I did this ray and I did another ray right exactly in the same place, the distance all the way around would be 360 degrees. But usually when we measure an angle, we're not measuring the whole distance around the circle. We're measuring part of it. So to start with, remember that the biggest an angle can be is 360 degrees. But usually, well, it's always smaller than 360 degrees. So to first start, usually when people first start talking about these, we talk about, well, what would happen if we divided this circle into 4 pieces? And sometimes people refer to this as a turn. So this would be 1 turn. You would turn a quarter of the circle to right here. And a quarter, or 1/4 of 360, would be 90 degrees. So this angle right here, or a quarter of a turn, would be 90 degrees. Now, how about if we were going to actually do, instead of doing just a quarter of it, if we said, you know what? We want to actually do half of the circle. We want to measure what that red line is from this ray all the way to this. That would be considered a half turn of the circle. I've heard people say like 2/4, but we know that's a half because we've already done fractions. So if a quarter of the turn is 90 degrees, we would know that a half turn would be 2 90s, which would be 180 degrees. But what if we said, wait a second, what I really want now is I am going to do 3 quarters turned. Out of the 4 pieces, I turned 1, 2, 3 times. What is my angle from this ray all the way over to this ray? Well, a quarter of it was 90. Half of it was 180. So if I add another 90 to this, 3/4 of a turn would be 270 degrees. And just like we talked about at the beginning when we started it, the whole circle is going to be 360 degrees. Now I know this is a bit confusing and it is going to become much clearer as we do this. But what I want you to focus on is I want you to focus on the turns. So this would be 1/4 turn. I'm going to do it in a different color. The red to this ray would be 1/2 of a turn. And then all the way over, 1, 2, 3, would be 3/4 turn. So you're turning it and pretending that this circle divides into 4 different turns to make a total of 360 degrees. So today what you're going to do is you're going to watch a video after this. It's going to talk about acute, right, and obtuse angles. And I know you guys did that in 3rd grade, so I'm sure you're familiar with it. And then your homework or your work that you're going to do yourself is in the workbook where you're just going to talk about turns. Turning and making turns with the circle. What if you did 1/4 of a turn? What if you did 1/2 of a turn? What if you did 3/4 of a turn? So do your best on this. I know it's kind of confusing and I wish I was there in person to help you with this, but we're going to make through it, get through it, do this today, and I will talk to you tomorrow, and I'll make sure I post the answers so if there was any confusion that you'll be able to see tomorrow. And if anything you want to do, you can always make sure that you comment below and ask me a question or email me if you have any questions. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.